It is the penultimate Raw before Bad Blood a week from Sunday in Miami. But tonight, we are live inside the State Farm Arena in Hotlanta, Atlanta, Georgia. And coming up tonight, Atlanta's hometown boy, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, returns to this city, and he's got some bad blood of his own to take care of. The Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu of the Bloodline, laying waste to Cody Rhodes last week in Germany. Cody tries for retribution against Fatu in tonight's main event. And also coming up here on Raw, a massive 6-woman tag team bout as the women's champion Lyra Valkyria, the Nightmare Rhea Ripley, and La Primera Stephanie McCare take on the Intercontinental Champion Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, and Miss Money in the Bank, Roxanne Perez. It is going to be a busy night of action, and we're getting right down to it on Monday Night Raw.
And his opponent from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Braun Breaker!
Another Georgia native, Braun Breaker, the former undisputed WWE Champion, the man who held the title for 8 months here on Monday Night Raw. Well, Braun Breaker returned to action a couple of weeks ago for the first time since losing the title back at SummerSlam in August in a hell of an impressive victory against Carmelo Hayes. Well, Braun Breaker is looking to continue to steamroll the competition until he finds himself back in line to challenge for the WWE Championship. Of course, that same WWE Championship that we found out last week will be defended a week from Sunday in Miami as John Cena puts the gold up against the OTC Roman Reigns. We know both of those men are in the building tonight in the State Farm Arena, but right now, the eyes of the world are on the badass Braun Breaker. An action-packed night, as we talked about, right here on Monday Night Raw. So much to get to, but Braun Breaker set to go mano-a-mano against the Aussie icon, Grayson Waller. Braun Breaker, as we mentioned, picking up that victory against Carmelo Hayes 2 weeks ago here on the Red Brand. See if he can keep his momentum strong, or if the Aussie icon is going to shock the world tonight and take down the former WWE Champion. Got some early shots in there, but there's Braun Breaker setting him for an amusement park ride. Carmelo Hayes was able to give Braun Breaker a fight. Near 15-minute bout in the main event a couple of weeks ago here on Monday Night Raw. Let's see if Grayson Waller is going to have that same luck. Right now, it looks like Braun Breaker is in no mood to mince words. Early on, Breaker hits the spear. Braun Breaker cutting the Aussie icon in half, and I don't think the badass is done. Back into the corner, a second spear by Breaker. Well, this Georgia crowd chanting for one more time, and I think Braun Breaker is going to oblige. A hat trick of spears on Grayson Waller. Academic from here. This one's over. Oh, man. Well, Braun Breaker might have put on a banger with Carmelo Hayes a couple of weeks ago, but he was in no mood tonight, showing up to Atlanta, steamrolling over Grayson Waller, and sending one emphatic message to the entire Monday Night Raw locker room. A performance befitting of the badass.
Here is your winner, Braun Breaker!
Like him, love him, or hate him, he's got no respect for anyone, and he shows no mercy inside of that squared circle. Well, a short and sweet message by the former WWE Champion, whose intentions are crystal clear. And speaking of the WWE Championship matchup at Bad Blood, coming up later tonight here in Atlanta, the champion himself, John Cena, and the challenger, the OTC Roman Reigns, will come face to face in the middle of the Monday Night Raw ring. But ladies and gentlemen, we have got to take you back to the events of last week in Hamburg, Germany, here on Monday Night Raw. Randy Orton was looking to get back the Intercontinental Championship he lost just 24 hours prior at Bash in Berlin against Ludwig Kaiser. An incredible main event. These two men really developing a great rivalry here on Monday Night Raw. But just as it seemed Randy Orton was closing in on winning the Intercontinental Championship once again, Imperium's ring general, Gunther, hit the ring and laid out the Viper. Gunther obviously aiding Ludwig Kaiser in retaining the Intercontinental Championship, but I think Gunther decided to take out some frustration on Randy Orton after losing his opportunity at the WWE title just 24 hours prior. Randy Orton bloodied and laid to waste by Gunther last week, and obviously Orton's intentions to win the Intercontinental Championship back are going to have to be on pause. But as announced over the weekend, a #1 contenders tournament to decide a future challenger for Kaiser's Intercontinental Championship is set to kick off right here tonight in Atlanta. Over the next couple of weeks, Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo, Chad Gable, Oba Femi, Kevin Owens, Penta, Santos Escobar, and a mystery opponent who will be revealed in moments will compete. Who's going to be for the #1 contender? This November, the heat rises to a whole new level. Live on Sunday, November 9th, the WWE returns to South Beach, Miami, Florida, for a night where grudges burn hotter than the Florida sun, and Bad Blood finally boils over. Championships will hang in the balance. Metal will be tested. Rivalries will explode. Every superstar stepping into that ring has something to prove and someone to destroy. Because when tempers flare and egos clash, there's only one place where it all gets settled. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, this is WWE Bad Blood. Well, we are back in the State Farm Arena live from the ATL, and the #1 contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship is set to kick off. Legado del Fantasmas, Santos Escobar, accompanied by Los Garza, Angel, and Berto, looking to turn his luck around tonight, but unfortunately for Santos, he's up against a mystery opponent. Who's it gonna be? We're gonna find out right here, right now. Oh, well, wait a second here. This isn't Thursday nights.
And his opponent from Gomez, Palacio, Durango, Mexico, weighing in at 230 pounds, Andrade!
Well, Idolo, Andrade is live on Monday Night Raw, but is he a SmackDown superstar? Well, hold on here. Hold on, we're getting caught up to speed in the headset at the given moment. Give us a second here, folks. Well, it appears that Andrade has officially signed with Monday Night Raw after his contract had expired on SmackDown just about 2 weeks ago. Well, this is news to us, ladies and gentlemen. The last time Andrade appeared on Thursday nights was a couple of weeks ago. He fell short to a returning Aleister Black. And it looks like Andrade has now upped a contract with Monday Night Raw. Well, this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. Andrade, now the newest member of the Monday Night Raw roster, and he's up against a man he's got tons of history with in Santos Escobar. Well, the bell has sounded, ladies and gentlemen. This is a first-round matchup in the #1 Contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship. Raw's newest acquisition in Andrade one-on-one with the Emperor of Lucha Libre, Santos Escobar. Both of these men have been on a string of bad luck, so a chance for one of them to turn things around tonight. There's a lot of history between these two men. They've been rivals, they've been tag team partners at times. I don't really think out of friendship, more out of convenience of common enemies. Hell, these two men teamed up at WrestleMania earlier this year in that triangle ladder match for the WWE Tag Team titles a part of SmackDown. Well, obviously a lot has changed since earlier this year, and now both of them reside on Monday Night Raw. They're standing on opposite sides of the ring from each other, and they ain't gonna hold no punches in hopes to move on to the semifinals of this #1 Contenders tournament. Well, this is a huge addition to the Monday Night Raw roster. Andrade wearing red and taking the fight to Santos. Andrade's got to keep his eye on two men he is also extremely familiar with, in Angel and Berto. Great partnership between those three men at times. Really, Andrade assisted Los Garza well over a year ago on SmackDown and becoming the WWE Tag Team Champions. A lot of history between all of these men, but Santos and Andrade mano-a-mano right now, at least as close to it as you can get, with Angel and Berto at ringside. Coincidentally enough, Angel exposing that buckle. I don't think Andrade even realized, and he's fighting out of the corner before it's too late, and before he gets slammed against that steel. Well, still to come tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu live here in Atlanta. John Cena, Roman Reigns gonna come face to face. 6-woman tag team matchup on hand as well, and another first-round contest in the Intercontinental Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. Loaded night of action here in State Farm Arena as Andrade with a head scissors takedown on Santos. Looking to move on to the semis, and oh, come on now. What of those Angel, I believe it was Berto, who just pulled referee Adrian Butler to the outside. Andrade now getting into an argument with Angel as Berto's chopping it up with Adrian Butler. Meanwhile, Santos Escobar just smashed Andrade's head right into that exposed steel and has taken over this matchup. A lot of action to call in just those mere seconds as both Santos and Andrade are hell-bent on turning the momentum around live tonight on Raw. Santos has been dealing with the extraordinary luchador known as Penta ever since Penta arrived back in July. Oh, look at Santos right now, off the knees, into the cover. Andrade may be hurt, a close call there. Andrade definitely might have had his bell wrong after getting smashed off that steel. And then the knees right to the abdominal, might have had the wind taken out of him. He'll live to fight nonetheless as Santos Escobar continues to persevere and push on in this matchup, and Andrade's looking weakened. As we were talking about Santos Escobar dealing with Penta for months here on Monday Night Raw, just 8 nights ago on the Bash in Berlin kickoff show, Santos Escobar fell short to Penta in that Falls Count Anywhere matchup. Santos Escobar awarded this opportunity just as 7 other men have as well, but can he make the most of it against the new Raw signee in Andrade, who just got taken over with that German suplex, but it's not enough to keep El Idolo down. Santos really starting to take over this matchup. There's Andrade trying to create some distance, and that he does off the spinning back elbow. And another close call. Santos Escobar, however, gonna pop the shoulder. These two men know each other pretty well. As we mentioned, they've been opponents before, they've been partners before, and never really friends from my estimation, just partners out of convenience and out of the sake of common enemies. And that was some time ago on SmackDown. Escobar, Angel, and Berto have come together earlier this year and have done their damnedest to take Raw by storm. They've seen some bumps in the road, but maybe tonight is where Escobar gets Legado del Fantasma back on track. Oh no. Andrade is in trouble. Fireman's carry position. Andrade just getting the air taken out of his lungs off that collision with the top rope. And now Escobar going for a frog splash, but nobody home. Crash and burn for the Emperor of Lucha Libre. Andrade sending a message to Santos. And that's going to be a victory for Raw's newest acquisition. In a moment's notice, Escobar crashing and burning with the canvas off that frog splash, and it was enough of a hiccup for Andrade to take advantage. Andrade, the mystery opponent, and defeats Santos Escobar, turns his momentum around in this #1 Contenders tournament.
Here is your winner,
A hell of an impressive victory for a man who is chasing the United States Championship on SmackDown for months. Now he's got a new goal. Now he's got a new target. He's here on Monday Night Raw, and he's got one thing in mind: Ludwig Kaiser's Intercontinental Championship. Well, let us take a look at the updated bracket. We started with 8. We have our first casualty, Escobar, to the back of the line. Andrade is moving on to the semifinals 2 weeks from tonight. We're gonna keep this #1 Contenders tournament rolling here in Atlanta.
following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, representing American-made from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 202 pounds, Chad Gable.
Well, we spoke to Chad Gable of American Made earlier today, and it's no secret that it's been a couple of months since we've seen Gable in action here on Monday Night Raw. According to him, he's been away, nursing some nagging injuries, but tonight he is back. American Made is whole again, and Chad Gable said that there is nobody in this entire tournament. At the time of this conversation, even included the mystery man that we now know as Andrade. Gable believes there is nobody in this tournament who can out-wrestle him. Chad Gable plans to chop the big man, the ruler, Obafemi, down the size one way or another, score that upset victory, and move one step closer to becoming #1 contender for Ludwig Kaiser's Intercontinental Championship. Easier said than done, but maybe the numbers game of American Made will aid Chad Gable. And let us not forget, Obafemi, hot off the heels of a huge victory over Jacob Fatu a number of weeks ago. A lot of people looking at the ruler as the favorite in this tournament.
And his opponent from Lagos, Nigeria, weighing in at 273 pounds,
Obafemi has seen a couple, and when I say a couple, it is very few bumps in the road since arriving here on Monday Night Raw all the way back in March. For the most part, the ruler has been unstoppable, just continues to slowly but surely climb the ladder, make his presence felt. His popularity amongst the WWE Universe continues to rise, and I think the track record of a former NXT North American champion is really starting to be known amongst the Monday Night Raw locker room, and the ruler starting to be feared by many. Will Chad Gable ever confident? After the conversation earlier today, Gable fully believes he can keep down Obafemi, a man that has defeated him in the past. Well, Gable and Obafemi clashed months ago on Monday Night Raw. It was a victory for the ruler on that night. Gable believes it is going to be a different story this time around. Couple of chants for Chad Gable out here in Atlanta, but here we go. Gable, Obafemi kicking things off. Chad Gable, hot off the heels, going right at Obafemi with all of his speed and momentum. Better be careful not to piss off the ruler, that's for damn sure. Obviously the size and strength in the corner of Obafemi tonight. Gable's gonna have to find a way to use his speed, agility, and just try to out-wrestle Obafemi like he believes he can. There's that overhead kick, but to knock the lights out of Obafemi, but I think it's gonna take a hell of a lot more to knock Femi out of this #1 Contenders tournament. Second of two first-round matches that's going down tonight here at State Farm Arena. Next week on Monday Night Raw, we will see Carmelo Hayes one-on-one with the Don of Monday Night Raw, that being Tony D'Angelo, as well as a huge matchup between Penta and Kevin Owens, which will conclude the first round of the number one Contenders tournament. Moments ago, we saw Andrade surprising the world, arriving here on Monday Night Raw and advancing to the semi-final round in 2 weeks' time. After the other side of the bell, we will know who is going to be on Monday Night Raw 2 weeks from tonight, joining Andrade in that semifinals. Chad Gable doing a hell of a job thus far, knocking Obafemi off his feet. Whole other thing to try to keep him there, however. There's Obafemi off the reversal, and face first goes Gable off that tree trunk-sized leg of the ruler. Obafemi's got to keep his eyes on the rest of American Made at ringside. Brutus Creed, Julius Creed, and of course Ivy Nile. We've been anxiously anticipating the return of their leader, Chad Gable, who really brung together this group earlier this year on Monday Night Raw. Not a lot of success for American Made thus far. Let's just call it as is. An incredible group full of amazing talents. As we say all the time, it's any given Monday. You can turn your momentum around. Unfortunately for Chad Gable, he but drew a short straw going up against Obafemi tonight. Obafemi all kinds of fired up here, as a championship opportunity could be looming if he makes his way through this number one Contenders tournament. Off the belly to back, down goes Gable, into the cover, and it's going to be a 2. Remember, Obafemi has challenged for the Intercontinental Championship in recent memory. Go back to the month of August. The channel member exclusive Great Balls of Fire live event, Obafemi challenged Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship, and oh my goodness! What a German by Gable! Folded up the ruler. Not enough to keep him down just yet, but a hell of a maneuver. Well, as we were talking about, Obafemi has challenged for the Intercontinental Championship in the past. That matchup with Randy Orton went to a disqualification thanks to Jacob Fatu, the man that Obafemi vanquished, at least from his point of view, a couple of weeks ago. Obafemi wants another shot at the Intercontinental Championship. This time it could be against Ludwig Kaiser, but Chad Gable is looking to stop the ruler's desires of holding that gold extremely early in this tournament. Oh, look at this. Look at Gable. Just trying to yank the shoulder out of the socket of the ruler. Atlanta loving this battle between Gable and Femi. Oba out on the apron. Oba now creating some distance. Oh my! Chad Gable getting taken down. Right in front of the rest of American Made at all. Oh, did you see Julius Creed grab the boot of Obafemi? Oh, I don't think Oba's having any of that. The ruler knocking down Julius Creed to the clothesline. And now grabbing a hold of the head of American Made and gonna take this fight back inside of the ring where he hopes to get the job done. And Chad Gable just getting sent for an amusement park ride over that top rope. I think Brutus Creed might have just grabbed the boot of Femi as well. Right to that fireman's carry takedown. Chad Gable and American Made could be on the verge of an upset here. Look at the strength. Down goes the ruler. Pure brute strength out of the arsenal of Chad Gable. Oh, and he nearly defeated Obafemi, but this one's going to progress. A kick out by Oba. Chad Gable cannot believe it. Well, Gable's got Obafemi, dare I say, up against the ropes at the given moment. Gable said he's rested up, he's ready to go, and he's ready to conquer Obafemi tonight. Will he deliver on his promise? Obafemi might have kicked out, but he is still down and looking up at the lights of State Farm Arena at the given moment. Oh man, Chad Gable heading to the top rope. Obafemi's on a wobbly foundation here. Gable wanted the senton, nobody home. Obafemi sidestepping the head of American Made and into the sidewalk slam. And Obafemi now maybe on the verge. Gable set to the corner. Huge body splash. Will the ruler start to rally and try to punch his ticket to the semifinals? And down goes Gable again. Oh yeah, oh, but Femi's hitting a groove. Wait a minute, I believe Brutus Creed is trying to distract referee Daphne LaShawn, and I think Julius Creed is trying to distract Obafemi. We got a couple of screaming matches going on here in Atlanta. And Chad Gable with some time to get some R&R. Schoolboy on Obafemi. He's gonna steal it here. No! A kick out by the ruler. Oh man, fall from grace. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Obafemi advances. Oh my goodness! Chad Gable thought he caught the ruler after the momentary distraction. That quick schoolboy in the final moments nearly stole the victory away from the ruler Obafemi. But Femi popped it up, realizing he had the strike while the iron was hot, and immediately tossed Gable to the sky and delivered the fall from grace powerbomb, nearly sending the head of American Made right through the middle of the ring. Gotta give credit where it's due. Gable put up a hell of a fight, but Obafemi outlasting the challenge, outlasting the numbers game of American Made, and is moving on to the semi-final round 2 weeks from tonight on Raw.
Here is your winner, Obafemi!
Well, already this #1 Contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship is on fire here on Monday Night Raw. Not one, but two exciting first round bouts tonight in Atlanta as we take a look at the bracket that has already progressed throughout this evening. We know El Idolo Andrade moves on to the semifinals. Now we know the ruler, Obafemi, will be back here inside the squared circle 2 weeks from tonight. Next week, it's Mello and Tony D. It's Penta and Kevin Owens. 2 more spots in the semifinals remain here on Raw. On the final night of November, the battlefield will be set. Live on Sunday, November 30th, WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. We want to take you back to Monday Night Raw last week in Hamburg, Germany. The rivalry between Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley exploding in a tables matchup live here on Raw. Rhea Ripley really put through the ringer by Nia Jax throughout this extremely physical contest, but a feat of strength in the final moments, sending Nia through a table and awarding Rhea the victory. But after the matchup, Rhea Ripley's celebration momentarily cut short by the arrival of the WWE Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria, who seemingly agreed that Rhea just earned herself a championship rematch. Lyra's made it through Nia Jax. She defeated Tiffany Stratton 8 nights ago. And now a week from Sunday, the SummerSlam rematch is on. Lyra Valkyria giving Rhea Ripley this return matchup after Rhea clearly earned her shot last week on Raw. A lot of history between Valkyria and Rhea. They meet once more for the Women's Championship a week from Sunday at Bad Blood. But tonight, Lyra and Rhea in a very familiar position. Even in the lead up to SummerSlam, they found themselves as tag team partners. Tonight, it is no different in this massive 6-woman tag team bout. Rhea Ripley has had a hell of a 2025 when you look at it. Winning the Royal Rumble matchup, conquering Tiffany Stratton back in WrestleMania to win the Women's Championship, retaining that title over the likes of Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez, one of her opponents tonight, Stephanie Vaquer, one of her tag team partners tonight. But of course, Rhea Ripley falling short to Lyra Valkyria back in August at SummerSlam. Many believe that Lyra had the edge in that matchup thanks to Rhea's injury going into the contest. Rhea was obviously not 100% after going through a table by Nia Jax a couple of weeks prior to SummerSlam, albeit Lyra had been put through the ringer by Stratton and Nia as well, so she very well may not have been 100% either. There's that little asterisk on that contest that I think Lyra has been thinking about since SummerSlam, and that may be partially the reason why she wants to give Rhea Ripley this return matchup come Bad Blood. Well, Lyra and Rhea are one story, but their tag team partner tonight in La Primera has got a score to settle with the entirety of the opposing team.
And from San Fernando, Chile, Stephanie Vaquer.
You know, Stephanie Vaquer was assisting Alexa Bliss and really even in the numbers in Alexa's hunt for Alba Fire's Intercontinental Championship for a number of time here on Monday Night Raw. And we saw a couple of weeks ago Stephanie Vaquer one-on-one against Roxanne Perez, and obviously Alba Fire had not taken too kindly to Vaquer's friendship with Alexa Bliss in recent memory, distracted Vaquer, and really assisted Roxanne Perez in that victory a couple of weeks ago. Well, Stephanie obviously has got her eyes on the Intercontinental Championship that's currently housed in the Unholy Union. I'm sure would love to get her victory back over Miss Money in the Bank Roxanne Perez. Tonight she's got a chance to do just that. Lyra Valkyria drew the line in the sand 7 nights ago. A week from Sunday in Miami, she runs it back against Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship. But tonight, their respect for one another and their friendship is at the forefront as they stand side by side here on Raw.
And from Dublin, Ireland, the WWE Women's Champion, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria marches down the aisle tonight, still your WWE Women's Champion after a successful defense against Tiffany Stratton 8 nights ago at the Bash in Berlin. But here on the pre-ultimate Raw before Bad Blood, Lyra teams up with 2 women she has been in the ring with before, both as partners and as opponents. Lyra, Vaquer, and Ripley sure make a hell of a cohesive team as they're up against Miss Money in the Bank, Roxanne Perez, Unholy Union's Island On, of course the Intercontinental Champion, Alba Fire as well. A stacked field in this 6-woman tag team matchup with a lot of underlining and intertwining stories here as we keep the ball rolling, we shall say, here on Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley's got a lot of history with all 3 women as well. And with Rhea Ripley, I should say Unholy Union, really a thorn in the side of Rhea Ripley during Rhea's lead up to her matchup with Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania earlier this year. Rhea shared a ring with both Fire and Dawn earlier this year here on Monday Night Raw, familiar with those 2 superstars. And of course, Rhea been in the ring with Roxanne Perez as well, going back to Clash at the Castle in May. There's a tag made to Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie gotta be itching to get her hands on the Intercontinental Champion, who cost her that matchup against the Prodigy 2 weeks ago. Stephanie Vaquer has made a lot of noise since arriving here on Monday Night Raw back in June, looking for the quick victory over Alba Fire. Not just yet. Stephanie Vaquer went up against Lyra in the Queen of the Ring tournament months ago. Went on to challenge Rhea Ripley. for the WWE Women's Championship back at Money in the Bank in July. Although Stephanie has suffered some losses against her tag team partners this evening, they're all coming in with the same end goal tonight, and vanquishing their opposers. I think Stephanie has got a score to settle with all three of these women, and she is hoping to get the job done. The White Witch of Monday Night Raw, Isla Dawn, all over the Dark Angel at the given moment with a series of boots and a pair of knees. Isla Dawn had some history with Lyra Valkyria. Challenged Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship during her title reign, and of course Alba Fire, her Intercontinental title reign kicked off by defeating the inaugural champion Lyra Valkyria back at Clash of the Castle in May as well. All those underlining stories here in the midst of this six-woman tag team matchup, and there's the tag to the WWE Women's Champion, the woman who sits at the helm of the Raw Women's Division. She's coming in a house of fire against the White Witch, Isla Dawn, and down she goes. Lyra, the 2025 Queen of the Ring winner, the inaugural Intercontinental Champion, now, of course, at the cups of this division as the Women's Champion. And she is not looking for her momentum to slow down anytime soon. I don't think she would have challenged Rhea Ripley to that return matchup at Bad Blood if she wasn't confident she can get the job done. Oh, and then she got shot right to the abdominal by Isla Dawn that time. A bump in the road in the midst of this six-woman tag team matchup, and make no mistake about it, Lyra Valkyria built tough. The Meteora from the top by Isla. Taking Valkyria off her feet, into the cover, goes one half of the Unholy Union. Not enough to keep the champion down, and there's the tag made to Miss Money in the Bank, Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez, a former Women's World Champion over on SmackDown, Women's Tag Team Champion earlier this year. Of course, has held the Money in the Bank contract since the month of July. Has done her best to really remain in the shadows and try to make everyone forget that she's holding that contract, I'm sure, so she can strike when people least expect it. Roxanne Perez in action tonight, and both Lyra Valkyria and, of course, the future challenger and Rhea Ripley got an eye on the Prodigy front and center here in Atlanta, Georgia. Stephanie McCare, I'm sure, wants to get her hands on the Prodigy, trying to prove that she can beat Roxanne Perez. And right now, it's Roxanne all over. Looks to be a wounded WWE Women's Champion in Lyra Valkyria at the given moment. Both Lyra and Rhea just about 8 and 7 nights removed from some physical bouts over in Germany, but that ain't gonna stop them from fighting tonight. Tag made to Rhea and a big boot right to the face of the Prodigy. Rhea Ripley with another shot. Roxanne Perez may be seeing stars at the given moment. Roxanne obviously coming up short in the size and strength field compared to Rhea. There's a close call. I apologize for the pause, but I think things are breaking down off screen right now between Alba and Lyra and Stephanie. A little bit of a chaotic scene on the opposite side of ringside as Roxanne Perez and Rhea Ripley are going at it inside. We talked about all the underlining stories between all these women throughout the year here on Monday Night Raw. As down goes Stephanie McCare, and Rhea Ripley going to take Miss Money in the Bank off her feet. Rhea Ripley with that huge victory over Nia Jax last week in Hamburg, Germany. Looking for another one here tonight in this six-woman tag, ahead of her contest against one of her partners in Lyra Valkyria at Bad Blood. Off the backbreaker, Roxanne trying to crawl away to the corner. Get some fresh legs in this matchup. I think what is definitely needed at the given moment. Oh! I don't think either of them got what they wanted off those strikes. The kick nor the headbutt. The Prodigy and the Nightmare jockeying for position, and I think Rhea got all of that knee and got all of that neck breaker as well. Things are getting physical in this six-woman tag as the tag has been made to the Intercontinental Champion and Alba Fire. Alba Fire really starting to break out in 2025. We knew this woman held tons of talent. Former NXT Women's United Kingdom Champion herself and Isla Dawn have been a problem on Monday Night Raw since last year, bringing a championship gold to the group a couple of months ago as well. Alba Fire. Down goes Rhea. Great strength being shown, and now a leg drop right across the throat. Well, no one can say that the Intercontinental Champion lacks any kind of confidence. On the middle rope now, Rhea Ripley in the danger zone, but there's a reversal. Shot right to the abdominal. And a boot for Alba's troubles. Tag made to Lyra. Tag made to Isla. Familiar foes clash yet again on each side of the squared circle. Isla Dawn going to try to bring the fight to the WWE Women's Champion. Easier said than done. Discus leg lariat. Oh, but both Alba and Roxanne right there to ensure a 3 count wouldn't be made. And down goes Roxanne Perez. Lyra Valkyria with a bone to pick. And down goes Isla Dawn into the corner. Oh, cutting her in half that time. Isla Dawn would have been regretting taking that tag as Lyra Valkyria comes off the top with a pair of boots. And Alba Fire again gonna break things up. Absolute chaos in the midst of this 6-woman tag team bout. I think referee Daphne LaShawn got a little bit of Alba Fire's interference that time. Shaking off the cobwebs, tag has been made. La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer now in the ring with the White Witch herself. Chaotic 6-woman tag team matchup here in State Farm Arena. Down goes the Dark Angel. And a tag made to Alba Fire. Unholy Union looking to take care of their Stephanie Vaquer problem once and for all here. Alba going behind. Down goes Vaquer off the gory special. That's it. Or maybe not. Women's champion Lyra Valkyria breaking up the pinfall of her old adversary who just knocked her off the apron. Stephanie Vaquer, with the help of Lyra Valkyria, might have survived that series of strikes by the Unholy Union, but she is obviously not in a good place right now. Fire looking to pick the bones and make sure Stephanie Vaquer will not be challenging for her Intercontinental Championship in the near future. Uh-oh. Fire, but I got caught and just ate a boot. And now back into the cover. And again, Isla Dawn gonna break things up. There's a couple of times throughout this contest that this thing might have been over with if it weren't for the outside interference. Down goes Isla. Alba now from behind, stacking up Vaquer. And there's a kick out. Alba Fire nearly catching the Dark Angel. Stephanie Vaquer gonna look to fight back. Shot right to the abdominal. Mean Saito suplex. I don't think Vaquer's done. Wants a little payback for Alba, costing her that matchup 2 weeks ago. Down goes Isla Dawn. Vaquer showing she's not afraid to get her hands dirty. Down goes Miss Money in the Bank Roxanne Perez as well. Alba Fire caught between a rock and a hard place in the corner as Vaquer's all over the Intercontinental Champion. No partners to tag. Alba Fire in trouble. SVB on Alba. Into the cover goes the Dark Angel. This one's over. Huge victory for Vaquer and company.
Here are your winners. The team of Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer, and Lyra Valkyria.
An exciting, physical 6-woman tag team matchup as Lyra, Rhea, and Vaquer stand on top. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next here in Atlanta, less than 2 weeks before they clash at Bad Blood for the undisputed WWE Championship, both champion and challenger John Cena and Roman Reigns come face to face live up next. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. We're back live in State Farm Arena in Hotlanta, and the 17-time champion is in the house. 8 nights removed from successfully retaining his undisputed WWE Gold over Gunther and CM Punk in an incredible triple threat matchup at Bash in Berlin. But now we are less than 2 weeks away from another matchup that promises to be a war between John Cena and the OTC Roman Reigns. Certainly an announcement by the High Chief, The Rock, that took us all by storm last week in Hamburg, Germany, really leaving us with more questions than answers. But one thing we know for sure is that it's Cena, it's Roman, a week from Sunday in Miami for that very gold. The champ is live in the ATL. Oh, man. Well, Cena's got questions. Maybe Roman's got some answers. Well, one thing that nobody will deny is exactly what John Cena just stated. Roman Reigns has earned a shot at the WWE Championship. But I think what has taken everybody by surprise is just the way we got here. The OTC live in the ATL. Roman Reigns may be on the verge of finally bringing gold back to the bloodline. Roman Reigns defeating Solo Sikoa to earn the right, once again, to be the one true tribal chief of their bloodline. But then what happened after the match? The special guest referee, the High Chief, The Rock, dropping Roman Reigns with a rock bottom. We thought we were about to ignite another chapter in the Bloodline Civil War, only for The Rock to come out here last week and state it was simply to remind Roman Reigns of the pecking order of their family. I don't know how they do things in the Anoa'i bloodline, but what we do know is that we are looking at the challenger for the undisputed WWE Championship a week from Sunday in Miami. Oh, man. Well, some tension-filled words as I think John Cena just brought to light what everybody has been thinking over the last 8 nights since Bash in Berlin. We don't know what's going on between Roman Reigns and The Rock and the rest of their bloodline. But what we do know is what is to come a week from Sunday. John Cena is prepared for battle against Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Championship. Well, speaking of the bloodline, coming up next, the bloodline's enforcer, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, is set to go head-to-head against Atlanta's own American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. It's live up next on Raw. This November, the heat rises to a whole new level. Live on Sunday, November 9th, the WWE returns to South Beach, Miami, Florida, for a night where grudges burn hotter than the Florida sun, and bad blood finally boils over. Championships will hang in the balance. Metal will be tested. Rivalries will explode. Every superstar stepping into that ring has something to prove and someone to destroy. Because when tempers flare and egos clash, there's only one place where it all gets settled. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, this is WWE Bad Blood. Well, next week on the final Raw before Bad Blood, live from Jacksonville, we are set for a Bash in Berlin rematch. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill won back the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, and they're going to have a shot at the new champions in Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. And speaking of rematches, it was the Wyatt Six who took away the World Tag Team titles from DIY last month. Well, DIY defeating Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn a couple of weeks ago, and they won back their gold. Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy and the Wyatts meet Gargano and Ciampa for the World Tag Team titles once more next week. And we saw the #1 Contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship kicked off earlier tonight. Next week in Jacksonville, the first round concludes as Carmelo Hayes goes one-on-one with Tony D'Angelo. Plus, Kevin Owens, Penta. What a matchup that's going to be in the midst of this #1 Contenders tournament for the Intercontinental title. Well, it is looking like a high-octane, high-stakes night of action next Monday in Jacksonville. But tonight, live in the ATL, it's main event time as the enforcer of the bloodline and Jacob Fatu looks to send yet another message to the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the entirety of the Raw locker room.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Well, let us take you back to last week in Hamburg, Germany. Cody Rhodes' first matchup since being traded to Monday Night Raw. Big victory over The Miz, but moments later, the celebration cut short as Jacob Fatu would arrive on the scene, ambush Cody Rhodes from behind, and leave the American Nightmare for dead in the middle of international soils. Jacob Fatu said that was a message on behalf of Solo Sikoa, who was absent last week in Hamburg, Germany, after falling short to Roman Reigns at the Bash in Berlin. Well, we know that a couple of weeks ago when Cody Rhodes arrived here on Monday Night Raw, we saw that in-ring confrontation between himself and Solo. A lot has changed just over the last weeks for the Bloodline since. But obviously the message and the mission remains the same for Solo and company. Jacob Fatu looking to take care of business. The American Nightmare is here in Atlanta for a homecoming.
And his opponent from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, the American
crowd here in hot Atlanta as the Georgia boy himself, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, is live and in living color on Monday Night Raw. A homecoming for Cody tonight, marching down the aisle on home soil. But what awaits him inside of that ring is gonna be a battle. The enforcer, Jacob Fatu, looking to tear Cody apart in front of his friends, family, and fans in Atlanta. Cody Rhodes said a number of weeks ago he is here on Monday Night Raw with a mission of his own to eventually challenge and hopefully become the undisputed WWE Champion. A victory over Jacob Fatu tonight would certainly make some noise here on Monday nights. What has been a jam-packed night of action here on Monday Night Raw. A lot of tensions rising high as we inch closer to Bad Blood. The bell has sounded. This Atlanta crowd behind their hometown boy is Cody Rhodes going right into the man that dropped him on international soils last week on Raw. And a little homage to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Cody Rhodes got laid out by Jacob Fatu 7 nights ago. He is not looking to repeat history, especially here in Atlanta tonight on Raw. Rhodes gonna bring his best, extra motivated with revenge in mind to take out the Samoan Werewolf, who is hot off the heels of a victory over Seth Rollins last week on Raw as well. Now I'll bite. We mentioned Solo Sikoa absent from Raw last week after the events of Bash in Berlin. We saw Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa accompany Jacob Fatu for his matchup with Seth Rollins. They were obviously pivotal in helping Fatu get the victory over the Visionary. A little conspicuous by their absence are the Tongans, but never rest to shore that the Bloodline is always coming out here with some kind of MO, some kind of game plan. And I know Jacob Fatu, now that he's inside of the ring, the Tongans and maybe even Solo Sikoa aren't too far behind. Nonetheless, Fatu taking Cody Rhodes to the outside. The American Nightmare maybe in the drop zone as Fatu throwing caution in the wind with that suicide dive. But regardless of the whereabouts of the Bloodline, Fatu trying to take over this matchup against Cody Rhodes here in the ATL. Cody! And his head smashed off the announce table. Certainly will knock some screws loose. That's the last thing you want when you're in there with that wild Samoan and Jacob Fatu. Fatu certainly turned a lot of heads 7 nights ago with his actions, laying out Cody Rhodes and defeating Seth Rollins all on the same night. Cody Rhodes did not make the trip from Hamburg, Germany last week back home to Atlanta, Georgia tonight to suffer the same fate. There's Cody dropping Fatu with the neck breaker and followed up with a knee. It was Cody Rhodes who arrived on Monday Night Raw and said he wanted to eventually earn himself an opportunity at the WWE title. Solo Sikoa to interrupt, saying anybody who stands in the Bloodline's missions, or so I should say in the way of the Bloodline's mission, was going to get dropped. Cody Rhodes wanted to fight Solo Sikoa then and there. Solo backed off, but of course, a plot must have been made weeks ago, and that's what you saw Jacob Fatu institute last week. Bloodline has left a warpath of casualties in recent months on Raw. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, just the latest acquisitions, if you will. And the Bloodline and their actions could really chalk up the split between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn recently here on Raw as well. Cody Rhodes cannot be focused on the Bloodline's history and the casualties that they've left in their wake. He's got to focus on specifically Jacob Fatu right now. Off the reversal and into a Samoan drop. Well, Fatu is just a wild animal, to say the least. Extremely dangerous inside of that ring. There is a reason Solo Sikoa brought him on months ago to be a part of the Bloodline and enlist him as his personal enforcer. Fatu has assisted Solo on many of occasions. I'm sure Solo would have loved to have Fatu and the Tongans out there at Bash in Berlin to try to aid him in defeating Roman Reigns and him becoming the tribal chief. But of course, The Rock banished them all from ringside weeks prior. Cody Rhodes getting taken to the outside as Jacob Fatu's in hot pursuit. Now we saw Roman Reigns out here moments ago being awarded that opportunity, of course, last week by The Rock for the WWE Championship, something I'm sure Solo Sikoa would have loved. He's talked about challenging for the title in the past. There's still so many questions regarding The Rock, and although he explained himself a bit last week, I think it even left Roman Reigns in a concerned and questionable state. Rock dropping Roman Reigns with that rock bottom, and then 24 hours later awarding him a WWE title matchup. Just a lot of things feel like they've been remained unsaid so far as Jacob Fatu nearly defeating Cody Rhodes right there. You even heard Roman Reigns moments ago telling John Cena, you don't got to worry about my family, you don't got to worry about who I'm fighting for, and you don't got to concern yourself with any of that. All you got to focus on is me, come bad blood, and at least that part is true. Dare I say, I don't even think Roman Reigns knows exactly what's going through The Rock's head. He said it himself, he is a complicated individual. Regardless of that, regardless of the WWE Championship matchup, a week from Sunday at Bad Blood, Jacob Fatu is all over the hometown man in Cody Rhodes right now, and this could be a terrible homecoming for Cody Rhodes if this keeps up. Rhodes looking up at the lights of State Farm Arena as Jacob Fatu comes off the middle with a splash, and I don't think he's done. Heading to the top, Fatu looking to vanquish Cody Rhodes with a Samoan splash. Will that be all she wrote? Not just yet, Cody Rhodes still alive. Rhodes still in this fight as Fatu really starts to pick up the pace. Cody now up against the ropes, the last place you want to be. Jacob Fatu was sent to the ring with a mission last week, and I'm sure he was sent with another one tonight. Regardless of the whereabouts of the rest of the bloodline, Fatu is here, and Cody Rhodes is in the midst of a war. Trying to fight back. Down goes the werewolf. Cody Rhodes trying to start a rally in the middle of State Farm Arena. Fatu looking a little wobbly as Cody Rhodes has not held any punches since the bell sounded here. Down he goes! Scoop and a slam, signature out of the arsenal. Cody Rhodes, a former World Heavyweight Champion over on SmackDown, United States Champion, King of the Ring winner, WrestleMania main eventer as well. Accomplished a lot on the blue brand over the last 3 years. But Rhodes now here on Monday Night Raw with new goals and aspirations, and if he wants to challenge for the WWE Championship in the future, a victory over Jacob Fatu could certainly move him one step closer. Rhodes and Fatu just jockeying for position right now. Wait a minute. Cody, Super Cody Cutter. Into the cover on Fatu. Almost had him, but it's not enough. Both of these men scrapping inside of that ring, just throwing haymakers at one another. Cody Rhodes stopping the brawl with a monstrous Super Cody Cutter off the top. Obviously had to take something out of Fatu, but not enough to get the 3. Fatu now trying to bounce back. Double springboard up his own into the crossbody. The American Nightmare, the one. Now down and maybe on the verge of being another casualty in the history of the bloodline. Cody Rhodes sent to the corner. Fatu. Oh my goodness, delivering some mean shots. Headbutts, now backing it up. Little shout out to another historic member of the bloodline lineage. The father of the Usos, Rikishi. Jacob Fatu. Whether it was a sign of homage or not, it was simply a way to take something out of Cody Rhodes here. And there's the Oklahoma Stampede. Little power slam by Fatu. Every time it looks like Cody Rhodes is rallying here in Atlanta, the enforcer of the bloodline says, nuh-uh, not today. And I don't like this. Cody Rhodes dead center of the ring. Jacob Fatu is taking his time, picking his spots, and wheels are clearly spinning. Oh, wait a minute here, but it took too much time. Cody Rhodes trying to fight back. And clotheslines Fatu over the top rope. Cody Rhodes creating some distance, trying to get some R&R. Oh, hang on here. Cody better watch his back. Solo Sikoa in the ring and attacking Cody Rhodes. Well, Cody Rhodes gonna win this matchup via disqualification, but I got a feeling that's not how the American Nightmare wanted things to go down tonight. Especially in his hometown of Atlanta, but I don't think Solo Sikoa gives a damn as he resurfaces for the first time since losing to Roman Reigns at Bash in Berlin, and he's obviously got some pent-up aggression to take out. Well, Cody challenged Solo to a fight a number of weeks ago. Solo's back down at least then, but now is taking the fight to Cody when Cody least expected it. This is the MO of the Bloodline, doing what they want on their time. Samoan Spike to the American Nightmare. Solo Sikoa dropping Cody in front of his hometown audience. Oh, well, hold on here. Fatu sending a chair to the ring, handing it to Solo. Cody's outnumbered and, oh, wait a minute, maybe not. CM Punk in the ring, and he's got that steel chair and he's chasing Fatu and Solo out of here. Well, Punk and Cody, longtime friends, and CM Punk coming out here before matters got worse for Cody. Well, I think that was about the last person that Fatu and Solo expected, but CM Punk, be careful what you wish for. You might have just drew a line in the sand with the Bloodline.